Good morning. As I see, Satsang offers to have a spare time out of the personality. So it's a spare time just to be what all beings are. Means freed from the personal opinions. What is common to all is totally ungraspable even by the strongest opinions. But you have to give a space for it, a spare time, no time if you like, to be alive and not again some intellectual information. So welcome to yourself, which is always there, which is here. And if you have a doubt about it, express it, we will see. If that opinion maintains its path, its road, whatever. Opinions will always be personal and never universal. So it concerns personal life, nothing more than that. And the amazing glimpse one can have that there is still something when you don't hook at an opinion is a great blessing, it's a luck. So be fed by that. Whenever, wherever you are. Sparing a minute, half a minute, a second, a split second to it. Somebody wants to say something about that direction. Yes, please.
When I was in Rishikesh, I went to a teacher, Ajatananda.
I don't know him.
You know him?
No, I don't.
I think he's from Belgium.
Atmananda. Yeah, I know him.
And I think he was talking about no touch method.
No touch.
No touch. What he meant was you don't get involved with anything with your attention. And I was wondering whether you consciously used this method in the past.
Me? Well, it's true that some tools I got which helped me a lot, which was neti. Not this, not that, it's the same. You see, it's whatever you touch, it's not it. Or a very, very powerful, efficient sentence of Papaji who said, "Don't land anywhere." It's the same. You see, it indicates the same. Now, those tools, they have one defect. In the end, they help tremendously to be freed from beliefs, but the subject stays. It's like when you objectified anything, it's not it. Don't touch that for a moment. It's not a way of life. For a moment to realize what is. And what is beyond what is, I mean, we cannot speak about. So then what is essential here is the subject. There is a subject to be able to objectify. And at some point, you can see that there is a subject. So the subject becomes the object. So you keep quiet with that seer, I would say. That's all. Then in the expression, you know who you are. Now it's up to you to fall in love with that, to just spare some time for it. Yeah. And I know there is a paradox expressed because to spare some time for it, when you realize that, you see it's always available, so you can never lose that. But you see, there is I think, a very precious indication. Just be vigilant to keep it alive, not to make it a memory again. So in that way. What's your name?
Philip.
If you want me to speak about something about this, ask me. The seer can never be objectified. The subject can be objectified because the subject doesn't exist without an object. I. The rising I.
So would you say it's about spotting the most intimate sense of I, ultimately?
Yeah. So who are you? Are you what you spot? Let it be the most intimate.
No.
So keep quiet as a moment where you are left, where you always have been. Yeah.
I have discovered that apparently there is a part of me still that it's like I expect that my search here is gonna solve things that has to do with the person, and I know that that is not the case, and I can also strongly feel it's not the same thing. It's like I see it at the same time separate, but it interferes, and I'm not really sure to. I feel like I'm navigating wrong, and I'm not exactly also sure what my question is, but it's just like I wanted to express that.
Yeah, no, very good. Of course, if you feel something wrong, you have to express. You see, it's not about navigating. That we all do in life, more or less well.
Yeah.
It's about clicking, suddenly clicking. From where do I see that? From where? And there, please don't navigate, otherwise you create again a world with the subject and the object. So just, we say click or whatever because it's sudden. You see, it's just be struck by this. From where can I see all this? Nobody asks you to navigate well, to be a perfect navigator, to have a perfect life as one conceives it. Nobody. No wise man would speak like that. But be aware that if you can see those things, from where? And you keep quiet there, just a moment, just a sudden moment. Don't worry, the flow of life will continue up to your last breath. Without your control, probably. But it's yours. It's your personal flow. So that don't make it a feeling, don't make it a knowledge, an experience, though it may rise, but you know very well from where do I see that, from where I feel that, from where I know it. That is the essential.
Ganga.
Ah.
So, I suppose I tell a bit of a story to.
Yeah, you just a little
Ah,
bit
yeah,
louder, please. Thank you.
So I came to a place in my life where I was completely fallen down to the
Collapsing.
bottom. So one of the ways, I started to meditate every day.
Yeah.
And, well, to make the story short, I became very much in love with that time which I gave myself, because it was helping me to seemingly to come
Yeah.
back up. And then out of there was a moment of a glimpse, I suppose, is what you would call it, of from did I come here? So my question is some kind of a doubt about where does this practice was helpful in some way.
Yeah.
And it's like I love it.
Yeah.
At least just
Yeah.
the basic thing of sitting and
Yeah. You. Okay, I will say something.
yeah.
So, it's very nice to have taken a tool which at least removes you from the objects where you were hooked or whatever, you see. So you go inward. With meditation, you go inward. But then becomes a problem. You become a meditator. And you know that even if it looks like a space which is not touched by anything that you live, but it's only an aspect of. Because you cannot reject also all this manifestation, which is also what is in expression. So the meditator makes a separation, and that's very painful, because then if you're a meditator, you feel like at some point you lost that space when you are too busy, too identified, or you are not in truth at that time. Things like that happens, right? Yes or not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because of the meditator. I became meditator. He loves that space, okay, but it's in the story of someone. I don't say that it is not great, but there is the essential is not touched in the sense of the I, the rising I, is still there. You don't know what is prior to I. You think so, at least. So, okay, just know now that the meditator you speak about, can you speak about, can you mention it? It's a description. it's a description of someone's life who dedicates some time also to meditation. From where you see that, keep quiet. And that's always available. Whenever you wake up in the midst of big identification or in quiet moment, you can always, if you have just a stop, a split second stop, it's always there. It's always available because it is not subject to time, to changes. So, what now?
I feel like I learned something about keeping quiet.
Mhm.
There's like a feeling of, maybe it's a feeling of achievement or
It's a
something.
feeling, it's you have moments of keeping quiet, and that gives you a big relief for the life. Now, real keeping quiet doesn't care if I keep quiet or not, if there is silence or noise.
But that's what I mean.
Okay, perfect, then don't doubt. Why do you suddenly believe your mind?
Because I felt like I wanted to just bring that here
Yeah, wonderful.
so that it's because there's a doubt there
Okay, then
from
nothing
the mind,
happened.
from the mind, but because I guess the point is this feeling of like
Sit whenever you like, why not? But don't make a belief that you are more real when you sit than when you don't sit. And yet, I would suggest, yes, spare some time to sit.
I don't think that
Good luck with the understanding. Yeah, tell me.
I don't think that I'm this yeah. I'm not searching in that way of am I okay now? Am I more myself now than in another time?
Maybe you just have not radically not to listen to your mind about this subject.
For sure.
That's all, you see. If there is no more doubt, if there is no more unclarity, whatever the mind will tell anyway, it will never bring you there because it rises from there and disappears there. It's like self-knowledge, you see, the knowledge of the self. It's a very great tool because it removed so many concepts and all that you had about so-called the true nature, enlightenment, whatever word you have. But in the end, it is poisonous because the mind, it's in the mind. Even if it is in the subtlest mind, still mind. It is belonging, a possession of I. And I disappears from where it comes from. So that is there is no knowledge needed. And if you need knowledge to go there, means it will be a result of self-knowledge, so it's an accomplishment in the mind only. Be freed from that. Yeah. Yeah.
I see the last satsangs that I feel really blissed and extremely good, peaceful. But then it's also this feeling that I'm hiding, that I don't want to talk, and somehow I don't want that people see me. That there's a little bit like feels like a comfort place where I go back, and then I don't want to show myself, and I don't want to move somehow. It's a little bit like it feels today the heat comes up that I don't want to hide in this.
But you see, in bliss, generally what is called bliss is when you have a carelessness of the other, huh? Because you don't see yourself. So try to understand. If you still see yourself, I am in bliss and all that, it's an extreme, beautiful experience, okay? But you cannot help if it rises, it rises. Just don't confuse what is untouched by anything, let it be even time or I. I forgot to say that. Don't confuse yourself or that with an experience. Yeah? Now, it would be very nice to see your face full of bliss, better than the other one. This body-mind will always be subject to waves of all the rainbow of experiences, always, you see. But it belongs to this body-mind. And you cannot help, it's there till you die, this body-mind, those waves. Just click that all this is possible to be seen and experienced because there is a kind of, it's a way to say, substratum for that. That you are. there is really a spiritual misconception, very spread, because it's a beautiful golden carrot if you present it like this. It is to, even if you think not, but one believes very much that the life of the seeker or the finder, the life will be a reflection of enlightenment. Of course, the search may not be in the personal life anymore, the search for it. You see, when you are freed from all the concepts about it, there is no search in that person about who am I. And that can remove us a lot of anxiety and all that. But all those bloody other habits, they may still show up. And there is nothing wrong with that. You can't help. So one has also to remove this image of being like a saint, being like this one or that one or whatever. It's not into your hands to appear in a certain way as you wish. So just be concerned to be yourself. At least you spare some moments for that.
People work on the shadow before awakening.
No, not. Depends which teaching you follow. Many teachings propose that because they believe that there is a kind, you will attain a kind of light, no shadows anymore in the personality. It's an utopia. It's impossible. Impossible to reach that goal.
But what if it's a relative goal of getting relatively lighter?
Yeah, if you feel better, why not? But take it as a work on the personality. It has nothing to do with that click of, oh no, I am myself. I'm that which many tries to point out at. Okay? So it's not that you have not to, but know the limits of it and know from where that work stands, know that platform, which is necessarily or the body or the mind. Yeah? And the body cannot go beyond the body. The accomplishment of the mind cannot go beyond the accomplishment of the mind. That's all. Clear? Fantastic. Yeah.
I feel huge relief when you say all of this because it feels. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
I feel huge relief because
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
kind of fighting to make myself certain way.
That maybe because of you I said that. Good? Yeah,
And it just felt painful to try
It
to
is
keep-
painful because you are rarely successful, or you are successful for a while and then, again this bloody shit comes back, you see. It's like that.
And somehow it felt too easy when you say it like this because maybe in spiritual circles where I was, it felt like I should still be more better. You know?
I know, why not to be good, but, you know. It's not about that.
Or trying to be like Ramana or
Oh, good luck.
just trying hard.
You have to be born with a copinum for that. You know that little thing. Some are born like this, but it's not the fruit of their present efforts. It's so different personalities. From saints to bastards, and everybody's one is that. You are not less that, even if you are a real asshole. You see, in a way, I always love to also, oh, if I have known Ramana, etc. But after all, I am most happy to have met Papaji, because Ramana looks like a saint. Some others look like great swamis, detached and all, because what is a swami? It's not having sexual life, for example, or being sadhvik and all that. But you see, Punjaji could have been taken as an ordinary man, though his personality was tremendous, but he was living outside, you could, like anybody else. And that gave a tremendous teaching, you see. Some ran away because of that, they could not trust, but those who trusted, he helped to remove those beliefs and that separation between what is pure and impure and all those things, you see. So it was a real direct pointing out. Don't lose your time in trying this and that. Just go for it. Go for it just now. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to be purer. You don't need anything. Just now.
I stick to the explanation of really not needing the shadow work, say, or it's hard for me to understand that because I feel that I need to take responsibility for my pains, for my story, like how everything I've been influences my present,
Yeah.
and how taking responsibility for that makes me free.
Maybe some ancestors' responsibility. I mean, it's your choice. It's your choice of life. There is no obligation. So you have to see what is, for now, what is the most important for me. To try to fix that, or, and then you have to go to those teachings who help you in that way, or I want to listen to the so-called wise men who, how you say, regardless, who don't care about the personality. They just want to give you urgency to realize who you are, and from there you will see what happens and what you want really to do. So you have to be a bit clearer, I think, about what you search, what you want first. And it's all fine. Huh? It's just, it will help you not to boycott one way or another way. Because to serve, they are opposite directions. To help your personality, you are based on I, the rising I and the life, personal life, and then you work like this, you see. You have to accomplish in the future, you have a goal to achieve and so on. Now, that's the movement, and that movement is typically the time, the mind, the body, and stories. There was a beginning, there is an end. To know, and when I say know, it's not through the mind, to know who you are, what is common to all what appears. So it's not personal. There is no movement because it's there, but if you strongly believe you are somebody, the movement is like this, towards the source of what appears. So you can do it side by side, but be very clear about that. Or choose only one way, be fully in it, and then you see. Otherwise it creates confusion and conflicts. Is it clear?
Not very much.
No. Tell me what is not clear then.
The two ways that are opposite that you're saying.
Yes, to me it looks opposite. One, you put your energy this way, being sure that what you are is that one born and with the story. So there is a platform, there is a base. Yeah, you agree?
That would be like the shadow thing, what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah. So it can go this way outside, it can go this way, but in the same bubble of personality. I don't say it's wrong, but it's better to know clearly what you want. If the shadows trouble you too much, of course, you can be helped also, but it will be, yeah.
And what's the second part? Going inside?
There is no story. You see, if it is not personal, where you are left after have been working out so many things, you are exhausted, you feel I'm still not perfect or satisfied as I thought, I think at some point you say, I give up. And at the very moment, if you are lucky, when you give up, where are you left? For a second, where are you left? Is there a story there? Yes.
To me, the shadow work is more like neti. It's like I see something
Okay.
arise, that I see that identification,
Yeah.
and then I drop it. So it's not so opposite to the other.
Okay. But don't you see that also can be an endless work? At some point, why there is a neti work is to suddenly see, but who am I? What is the subject of it?
But this can happen many times during the work.
Okay, great. Whatever then, whatever. You know, if we knew the perfect method, I think it would have been said already. Nobody knows how it happens. We know, I think, quite well how it cannot happen. Yeah.
It's like to say, I feel whatever arises out of the split second is nobody's business.
Very good. Or it is somebody's business, but you don't
Playfully.
want necessarily to go there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's-
But even you see, if it happens that you go there, did you lose that?
It is not, it is what is.
Perfect.
It will play.
Hamza, half a cup, please. Good. If someone is struggling with something, please don't keep it. Just tell. A little bit only. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like dropping the person because I think that in so many lives I have played all the roles,
You have played all the
actors,
okay.
the stories and everything.
But have you to drop anything?
Right?
Have you been successful?
No, it was empty. Everything was empty.
You don't need to drop. You see, you need to drop the idea that there is a problem with anything, including the person.
I do need to drop something. I need to drop the constant, attempt, desire to be a good person.
Drop the interest in that thought. Is it interesting?
It's really annoying.
Because you are interested and then it annoys you. Just know that it's always the same movie, millions of times. Oh no, this is enough. I know it already. I don't go there. Or if you go there, you just drop it at once without commenting again. Samsara, you see, means what rises and gives pain and whatever, search and whatever. The quality of samsara is multiplication. So not only you hook, but that hook will bring another hook, commenting and this and then judging and this. Who wants to catch that train? Let it go on by itself. You don't need to catch it all the time. You will catch it because the life of this body-mind is in the train. But you spared a moment on the platform, which is no platform, and there you see there is never a train also. So enjoy that. The rest is pleasures and pain. Whatever wish that it should be different is a trick of the mind. Know that. And you can't help to be in that also. I wish. But at least, because you have been touched by what's always there, awaken at times. Oh, what am I doing? Basta. Something happened? No, nothing happened. And the second after, again, something happens, sure. But, in fact, you are printed by that which is not touched by anything. You want to say something? I don't know. What's your name? With the glasses. Yeah, what's your name?
Mark?
Mark. You don't want to say something? It looks like.
I struggle with touching the mind,
Okay.
in that it's like finding that space in the every moment
Yeah.
of where I am in getting caught up with the mind and then going to that place
Okay.
of emptiness or self or source.
Yeah, okay.
And I guess there's a belief that it's a process, but I'm not sure what keeps me.
Leave the process behind. No, you don't need it. And really don't worry, because if you are caught, you're caught by what? By the expression of that. And since you love that, you will always also just obviously be that. And it will go like this up to the end of your life.
When you said that it would go that way for the end of your life, I feel this emotion come up. It's almost like I'm not sure what that is. But
Let it invade you, let it disappear. Don't try that it has to express in certain ways. Drop ideas. Thank you.